Hello, and welcome back to Cape Corner, where we explore the history, story, and cultural impact of a different character or group every episode. I'm Blue,
And I'm Jordan.
and today we'll be talking about a group and starting a longer series, I guess, which we'll tackle one episode at a time over. I don't know how long do you think this? 2 years.
Yeah, I was gonna say a few years.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of I can't. Today we're going to be talking about the teenagers with attitude.
Yeah. There you
go. The Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. Now, I'm sure many of you know that they've got a power and a force that you've never seen before. And they've got the ability to morph and to even out the square. Yeah, so I know the entire theme song by heart.
I figured.
Speaking of the theme song real quick, someone once told me that Styx, like the rock band Styx, made their song. Like the guys who sing Domo Arigato, Mr. Roboto, and Come Sail Away, I think. And that's just incorrect. They might have done a cover at some point, but they don't do the song.
I'm sure they did a cover at some point. I don't listen to the original song very often, but I do listen to a guitar cover of it. It's on my daily driving playlist, and my God, I don't care what anyone says about the show or anything else. That theme song is one of the coolest things ever.
It really is. That guitar riff is really sick nasty for a children's show. That it's how do you not get you just want to punch somebody? Cool. So good. Yeah, the music is genuinely really good. We talk a little bit less about the in-show music, but it's always pretty consistently good too. Something that Mighty Morphin Power Rangers did that later series didn't do so much is that they made individual for characters like with actual vocals.
They had a Green Ranger theme.
Yeah. Go Green Ranger, go. It's so good, so cool. And they also gave him a White Ranger. White Ranger Tiger Power.
It was cool.
It was. I think that's okay thing to bring up first, because the theme song is the first thing you hear when you turn Power Rangers on.
Yeah, there's this. It's partly for nostalgia. That's probably my favorite Power Rangers theme song. There's a very close second in Ninja Storm, but
see, I didn't really care too much for the Ninja Storm theme.
I love Ninja Storm. I think that's just because Ninja Storm is where I joined Power Rangers, so it's also nostalgic for me. The first season I saw.
Some of my favorite themes. First of all, I actually like Zeo more than the original.
Oh, okay.
Because it's a proper sequel song. I really like the SPD theme.
Cool.
I know Time Force has a weird atonal kind of beginning, but
that's a cool one.
Yeah, I really like the Time Force.
You get the overlapped voices. It's cool.
Time Force was one of the strongest ones that I remembered growing up. If for no other reason than the fact that there was a Time Force ad at the beginning of Digimon the movie.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I think it's because I'm younger than you that Ninja Storm and Dino Thunder were my Power Rangers. Those were the big seasons. That was when I saw it on TV. I watched every episode.
Dino Thunder's really really good. It's like
It's
I
great.
think it's the smallest team that I've ever seen for Power Rangers. I'm pretty sure. Like
Yeah, totaling
even
5. That's pretty small.
even ones like Ninja Storm, which started off with only 3, they wound up with 6 by the end.
If you don't count the Spirit Rangers, Jungle Fury also only winds up with 5. But also they have the Spirit Rangers. So
Yeah, I mean I know that they're American made, but I still kind of. I mean, I guess they're not people, right? But they're like projections that they make. But they're like stands.
yeah, they're like, yeah, it's weird. But so for the most part, they pretty much just have 5 actual
Yeah.
human rangers, actual people who are Power Rangers.
Yeah. You
There's
know
only
what
5
sucks
of them.
is I think the Rhino Ranger himself looks cool. I think his morpher is one of the most atrocious things I've ever seen.
It's so dumb.
It looks like someone massacred a family of guns and then stitched them together.
So, in terms of I'm curious to hear your life experience with Power Rangers because mine was, growing up, I saw Ninja Storm on TV. I was like, I think I know the first episode I saw, which was the one where they're all on the island that's sinking, and there's like a gas that makes you crazy for a while, and it gets Hunter. Um,
I
and so
haven't
that
actually watched a whole lot of Ninja Storm, so I don't know
Okay,
this
well,
episode.
hardcore fans of Power Rangers will probably know if you've seen all of Ninja Storm. That's the first one I saw, which is a weird episode to jump in on, but it hooked me, and I was like, okay, this is cool. And I watched the rest of Ninja Storm, and then I watched every episode of Dino Thunder as it was coming out, uh,
So,
and then I
uh,
watched most of SPD, and then I think I watched the premiere of
Mystic.
Mystic Force, and then I was like, no, Power Rangers is for kids. I'm gonna grow out of this now, and I quit
Well,
it for Mystic Force, Operation Overdrive, and RPM, and then
to be fair,
Jungle Fury came out, and I watched that premiere, and then I decided to go back to Netflix and watch all 20 whatever seasons of Power Rangers because I was like, all right,
to
I'm
be
in now.
to be fair, Mystic Force is bad, and Operation Overdrive is worse.
I like the anniversary episode for Operation Overdrive.
Oh yeah, Once a Ranger is cool, but it's
That's
only
great.
good because of all of the other Rangers in it. So
Yeah.
that actually, in a way, makes Operation Overdrive even worse because it makes you think of what you could have.
That's fair enough. But yeah, there was a 3-year period where I was like, Power Rangers is for kids. I'm growing out of this. And then I like immediately went back. And then I was like,
Yeah,
no, I'm going to become a hardcore Power Rangers guy and just watch all of it on Netflix.
that's good. Nothing is more freeing in life than going, no, fuck you, I will watch Power Rangers.
When I heard they were dropping a bunch of them from Netflix, this is okay. I don't think anyone I work with listens to this podcast, but I was working from home at the time, and so I would just I literally not watched, but kind of out of the corner of my eye observed every single episode of Power Rangers during like a 2-month block because I just had it on in the background while I was working.
This will be the episode that becomes famous.
Yes, and then I'll get fired.
Yeah. Sorry,
But
bud. I got to do what I got to do for success.
I still did my work, but so it was on in the background all the time. It's not like I know for a fact that people were like watching football games and shit while they were working from home, but so I watched like all whatever it was at the time, 27 seasons of Power Rangers, everything that Netflix had as of like November of 2020. I watched all of that right in a row in
Whenever I
like
tell quote unquote normal people about Power Rangers, one of the largest sentiments I've ever gotten, like most regular responses, is that show's still going.
yeah, because it's fucking huge. I think aside from The Simpsons, it has the most seasons of maybe anything. I
Yeah,
think I think it definitely has the. I remember looking up its like season count and episode count, and it's like top 3 for both of like anything ever made.
Well, because they've been going since 1993 and only missed 1 year, which was 2010. And I remember that very vividly
Yeah, I remember
because
that.
because in 2009, that was the year I graduated high school, and it was also the year that Power Rangers RPM came out, and I loved RPM so much. Um, but so I was like, I can't wait to see what's next, and what was just Mighty Morphin Power Rangers again, remastered and with a lot of unnecessary comic book looking special effects added. And I was like, oh, okay, got it.
Yeah. So
Um,
anyway, that's my life experience with Power Rangers, and I am not quite caught up on the series, but I'm missing
mine,
the back half of Beast Morphers, whatever the last half of the last season of Beast Morphers. I forget if there's one or two.
I
And
I
I've not watched Dino Fury.
I discovered that Beast Morpher has a reason towards the end of it that you have to finish it. Uh, I won't
Damn it.
say what it is, but it's something that I had been wanting for years, and they finally do it in Beast Morphers.
All right, I'll watch the end of it.
Yeah, so
I'll go find it somewhere.
you'll know what it is when you see it. But
I'm gonna
okay,
go see where I can stream Beast Morphers. That's what I'm gonna look
so my life experience was I literally cannot remember a time in my life when there wasn't Power Rangers. Um, again, started in 1993, and I was born in 1991.
at.
So
Nice.
um, some of my first memories of life are watching um, like season 3 Mighty Morphin Power Rangers with my sister while I'm holding my toy of Saba, which is the White Ranger's sword, which talks to him. And yeah, I remember like some of the earliest that I could actually like have more than extreme baseline memories where I could like memorize designs and themes and stuff. The
Mm.
first series I really truly remember watching is Power Rangers Turbo, which is unfortunate, but but like I had a Blue Ranger little action figure that had a twist cap on the back, and if you twisted it, he would do like a punching motion. Um, and or like it was more like an uppercut. Um, and so I was watching In Space for the first time and getting super excited. And a couple years later, maybe when I was like, I don't know, 8, 9 years old, I was at the library with with my mom, and we went into like the VHS tape section. I'm looking around and I saw a VHS tape for Power Rangers Zeo, and I felt my third eye open as it unlocked some kind of memory that I didn't know I still had. Because it was like seeing the shapes on their masks. I was like, oh my god, I remember this. um, and I I didn't continue watching after In Space. I wound up watching again a little bit here and there when Time Force was on the air, so I sort of skipped over Lost Galaxy and Lightspeed Rescue. Um, and then from there, I stopped because I think around that time I entered middle school, and I was preoccupied with things like depression and just
Yep,
trying to
that's what
survive.
does it.
So eventually, years later, when I'm in high school, um, I just started thinking about Power Rangers and getting really nostalgic. And I started rewatching Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, and I'm like, this isn't as good as I remember.
Hmm.
And I was like, I wonder how like because Power Rangers is still going apparently. I wonder how it's like now. And at the time, Operation Overdrive had just finished, And I think literally like 2 days before this day where I started getting nostalgic for Power Rangers, they premiered the first episode of Jungle Fury. And so I
Cool.
watched Jungle Fury. I was like, whoa, that's very different. It's pretty cool though. And so I decided to start watching different series here and there. Um, and like I would give each series a couple episodes, and if it couldn't hook me, I'd be like, nope, okay, trying this one instead. So I wound up watching. I like jumped from season. Um, I did wind up watching most of Time Force. I watched a lot of SPD. Um, when I while I was doing this, time kept passing. RPM came out, and I started watching RPM as it was coming out every week. And that was the one where I was like, oh yeah, I'm definitely into Power Rangers.
That's funny. RPM's like the only one that I'm like, yeah, it's okay.
What? Really? You think it's worse than Operation Overdrive?
Oh, I guess that's true. Operation Overdrive is also, yeah, it's okay.
Or what about Mystic Force? Or because there's a lot of seasons I consider pretty
I
bad.
wound up when I went and rewatched, because like I said, I went and rewatched everything. Not necessarily paying close attention to each episode, but I have at least observed every episode of Power Rangers up until November of 2020. And Mystic Force, I wound up being like, you know what, this is pretty cool. This has some cool stuff in it. It's like
I do not.
the
I do
day-to-day
not.
episodes are not good, but the arc is great.
I do not like any series where they're like, this is a series about magic, and it's one of those things where you have to believe in magic to make magic happen. The most skeptical dickhead on the planet who sees literal magic spells performed right in front of him and is still like, but magic's not real, is the leader. But then also he is then predestined to be the son of the greatest knight and the greatest witch, and so he is like the chosen one. And it's I hate Nick. He's one of the worst Red Rangers.
I'll agree with you that he's pretty much the worst Red Ranger, but
he's not the worst. There are like I think two that are worse than him.
I think on the weight of God, what was the Solaris Knight's name?
K name I remember.
Yeah, but him and Benji, the genie.
Oh right, yeah.
On the weight of them alone, and the like golden blue train Megazord thing, on the weight of that alone, it put it above Operation Overdrive and RPM for me.
Oh yeah, I still think it's better than Operation Overdrive, which is an absolute travesty in every way. Operation Overdrive is only the second worst series.
Which one's the worst series?
Oh, Super Mega Force. Easy.
Okay, yeah. Except for the anniversary. Because they bring in old people.
Sure, but they also fucked that up. Like,
okay. But it was cooler than the rest of the series.
Okay, here's the thing. You can watch the Legendary War and be like, whoa, that's really good, especially for this crap series. But then I want you, when you get a chance, look up Super Sentai 199 Battle.
Yeah, I have. It's better.
In every way. But yeah, and because like that movie also is about the Gosei Angels fighting the Gokai Pirates, and it's great because the angels are all like literally holier than thou, so they're like, you're pirates and you're stealing these keys, you must be bad guys, and the entire movie is basically like, oh my god, you judgmental pieces of shit, we're literally keeping them away from actual bad guys.
Yeah, I think I am a particularly susceptible target to nostalgia bait, and just seeing them turn into like old generations of Power Rangers like got to me, and so I was like, it's not too bad. I get to see some old suits come back.
See,
how I'm seeing it.
While I get excited to see old Rangers return, it's always diminishes their return for me if they're being led by someone who sucks.
Yeah.
Because the thing about those crossover episodes is they're always meant to pump up the current team to be like, yeah, they can stand alongside of these old heroes. And when I see the Once a Ranger team being treated like they're lesser than what was his face? The robot boy who jumps up
I
and
don't
slices a
remember his name
monster
right
in
now.
half with a sword.
Was it Mac?
Yeah, thank you. Fucking mac and cheese over there. Just unmorphed, no Zord, no nothing. He just has a sword and he leaps into the air and cuts a monster's head off or something. I'm like, no, no.
Yeah.
I refuse to believe that he is better than this team. And when I see crappy ass Megaforce at the head of the pack of all of these Rangers that I know are fantastic and like leading the charge, I'm like, no, put someone competent in front. Jesus. I would rather have Nick in front than have dumbass fucking I can't even Troy. Troy, in case you're wondering, is the worst Red Ranger.
Troy is the Megaforce Red Ranger.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
And
see, I will say this: even if I enjoy a plot line or two or the crossover of the Megaforce stuff, I never related to any of the Rangers. Like I never got into any of them. I never cared about any of them as people. And that's the problem.
The closest one of their team to being anything good is Gia, and they know this because any time in modern media that Megaforce is represented, it's Gia. She's in the Battle for the Grid game. She was in the Legacy Wars YouTube video where they met Ryu and Chun-Li.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, did you ever see that?
I think I have.
It was Tommy, Gia, and some other Ranger, and they met Chun-Li and Ryu, and they had to work together to fight M. Bison, and they gave Ryu a morpher.
That was cool. Those was that Bat in the Sun? I can't remember.
No, that was an official.
Oh, that was official.
Yeah, that was promoting Legacy Wars because you could play as Ryu Ranger and Chun-Li Ranger in the Legacy Wars game.
Okay. For some reason, I had it in my head that was made by the same people who did Superpower Beatdown.
I mean, they might have like shot it and produced it. I don't know.
Which they are all. Have you seen those Superpower Beatdowns?
Yeah, I've seen a couple. They're pretty good.
Did you see the 2 ones with Tommy in them?
Yes, I did.
Those are fucking cool.
We shouldn't talk too much about Power Rangers as a general thing because this is supposed to be that many much Power Rangers.
That's true. We should save it for I think it's good to get a whole general feel of where we are with Power Rangers, though.
Yeah.
So
this is the beginning. This is the beginning of this series of us talking about Power Rangers. That was a good like. This is how we feel about the franchise as a whole.
Yeah. Right? Okay. So Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. The iconic opening of the series.
Yeah, the only one of these shows to have 3 seasons.
Yeah, that's true. That's pretty cool.
So here's your IRL hit. In the late 80s, in America, there was a guy by the name of Haim Saban, and he was a grubby little bastard man rubbing his little bastard fly hands together thinking about, oh, I think I've got a new get rich quick scheme. And he realized that over in Japan they had wildly successful action series of the Sentai genre, and he knew that over here in America things like the Godzilla movies and to a lesser extent like Ultraman were like taking off really well. He knew that anime was beginning to take off, so he saw that there was a market of just taking a Japanese property and dubbing over it. And
Mhm.
he was like, okay, if I take one of those Japanese action series, because they're wearing masks, I can literally just use all of the footage from the fight scenes, and then all we have to do is film the unmasked civilian life stuff.
Pretty
And
brilliant.
yeah, and so he first tried with an earlier Super Sentai that was out at the time of the late 80s. And he apparently pitched the idea to some execs, and it didn't stick. And he didn't give up. A few years later, he tried again. This time, we actually know that they filmed a entire pilot episode. And now it was using, what is it? Hugh Ryuger? Is that it? I can't remember.
Maybe.
It's the dinosaur one that became Mighty Morphin. But he had footage from that, and there were a few differences in the pilot episode than what would eventually stick to the show. Skull was still one of the bullies, but Bulk was not there. They were a lot more threatening, like a little bit rapey, like just a little bit. Like Trini was a black girl instead of an Asian girl, and there's literally a shot where Skull is like up her cheek and she has to like smack it away.
I don't like that.
Yeah. Their hangout spot was a bowling alley instead of a juice bar. Zordon's original name was Zoltar. What else? Oh, so the original morphing sequence is hilarious to me. It makes me die every time I see it, because the other four, they do their thing, right? Mastodon, pterodactyl, triceratops, saber-toothed tiger, and then Jason comes in and he says Tyrannosaurus. I swear to God, that's how he reads the line.
Tyrannosaurus.
And they kept it in. What's also great is that because they didn't have money for special effects, the way that they showed them morphing is it's a shot of them in their civilian wear, and then for like a half a second, there's a shot of him still wearing like his t-shirt, but now he's got the mask on, and then it's followed up by a shot of them in full costume.
That's pretty funny.
So for half a second, you can just see him wearing normal. He's got the Power Ranger helmet on. But yeah, so the pilot episode was intriguing to the board of directors or whatever, that they picked it up, and in 1993 we got the beginning of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. Haim Saban would hold on to that shit for years before Disney finally got a hold of it. And
then Disney got bored of it real quick, didn't they?
They kept it for like 7 years.
Oh, okay. I keep thinking it's shorter than that.
Ninja Storm, Dino Thunder, SPD.
No, you're right, because 2010 from 2003. Yeah. Okay.
So because the series has eras, we've got the Saban era, which is the first Disney era, the Neo Saban era, and Saban brought it back. And you know what? When I heard Saban had the rights to Power Rangers again, I was like, oh, cool. They had done good work. They're the original holders. This will be great. And then it wasn't. It was really bad.
And then they kind of picked themselves back up a little bit.
A little bit with Dino Charge.
Yes, that's exactly what I was thinking of.
Yeah, but then every other show was bad. So You know.
I guess the Disney era is my era because I so love Ninja Storm and Dino Thunder that it like outweighs everything else.
I think the Disney era has some of the best storytelling of the entire series. I I wish that they didn't go so ballistic with the explosions towards the end of it.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's the big downfall of that era for me was the Kalish explosion. Um, okay, so the story. Um, so the first Power Rangers, they're just the first ones that we see. Um, hell, they're apparently not even the first Power Rangers. Uh, well, I guess I was thinking of Koda, who was a caveman Power Ranger for 2 seconds before he got frozen. But that's also a different universe. So
Yeah, it's a different Earth.
Um, what were they? I don't think they were. Let me think. No, because like Wild Force had their own Power Rangers like eons ago, right?
Ooh, maybe. I can't
were
really remember.
They just generic protectors of nature and shit.
I think they were just protectors.
Oh, okay. I don't know. Well, either way, at least in the universe, they weren't the first Power Rangers. But uh, uh, because of previous conflicts throughout the universe, a described wizard from space, from a planet called Eltar, named Zordon, had once battled an evil sorceress and her master, and they trapped him in a what is the term they use? Time loop.
Oh yeah, I can't remember.
They screw up with his temporal nature. He doesn't experience time the way we do, and in order for him to talk with us like in real time, he's got to be trapped in this tube that keeps. So he just looks like a floating head in a tube, and he has his robotic companion Alpha 5 keep an eye on the developments on Earth because Rita Repulsa got, who is the evil sorceress, got trapped in some old stone like barrel, which they decide to call a space dumpster.
Yeah, I was about to say, why do I think it's called a dumpster? Okay, they do mention that.
Literally, the first ever episode of Power Rangers is called Day of the Dumpster.
Oh, that's why. I was like, why do I immediately associate the word dumpster with the shot of her coming out of... Oh, that's why. It's because it's the title.
Yeah. And so she was stuck on the moon, and so they decided they would keep an eye on things.
After 10,000 years, I'm free.
Yeah, a couple of astronauts decide to land on the moon, and they just see an alien relic, and they're like, "Yeah, let's open it. Don't radio back to command or anything. Just open it." And they did, and she came out, and she went, "Okay, time to continue my conquest of space. Hey, look, there's a planet right there. I know where we're hitting, boys." And off screen, they made like a moon palace.
I love that they just somehow do that off screen.
Yeah. What's great is that I remember in the old SNES video for Power Rangers, when you get to the end of the game, you actually fly the Megazord up and you like have to attack her palace.
That's cool.
Yeah. I was always like, if they know she's on the moon, why do they never like attack her? They're always getting attacked.
Mm-hmm.
But,
something about self-defense and Zordon's rules or something.
Yeah, so once she was... He could have asked for anything. He specifically tells Alpha 5, teleport to us 5 overbearing and over-emotional humans. To which Alpha replies, "No, not that, not teenagers." And that's not the line that they say in the intro. In the intro, he says, "Recruit a team of 5 teenagers with attitude," or "recruit a team of teenagers with attitude."
Yeah.
But regardless, they get. It's funny for trying to find overbearing and over emotional teenagers with attitude. They find the 5 most wonder bred.
I was about to say, like, they find the most goody two shoes, just kind people in the entire city.
They spend their days after school cleaning up toxic waste dumps, and they attend every possible charity fundraiser. Like, I've never I never once saw them be like, "Nah, I'm going to take today as a me day. I'm going to play a video game or something." It's like,
Yeah.
no, they're always helping other people.
Yeah, like, Jason's, teaching this martial arts class to help people with self-defense, and everyone's always,
Yeah, I guess that's actually a good segue for us to talk about what they're all doing prior to Rangerdom.
Yeah.
As you said, Jason Jason Lee Scott. Am I making that up?
I'm pretty sure that's right.
He's an experienced martial artist, and he decides to teach others, even though that's kind of weird for like a 16-year-old to be doing, but whatever. Or 17, however old he
It
is.
depends on the martial arts class.
I guess. But like, so he is also teaching Billy Cranston, who, fun fact, is named after Bryan Cranston, who got a lot of his early work voicing monsters on Mighty Morphin Power Rangers.
I love that.
Billy is a dweebus and a nerd, and he can't fight for anything. And so Billy was always great because you can actually see his progression of how good he fights as the series goes on.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah. Because in like episode 2, he like tries to run up a cliff to run away from a single putty.
Yeah.
But then later on, he's taking out waves of them. Zach.
Do we introduce him dancing?
Yeah. Wait, I'm trying to remember his last name.
Oh, yeah, I don't know it.
I keep wanting to say Jones, but that's Walter Jones, the actor. Whatever. Zach is the Black Ranger.
I only confidently knew Billy's last name because of the Bryan Cranston connection.
I know Kimberly Hart, and I knew all of them. I'm drawing blanks right now for some reason. I don't know. Anyway, Zach is seen. Well, he's actually seen doing martial arts too, but he has a special kind of martial arts that he Why am my brain not working? he made called hip hop aikido.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
It's breakdance fighting. He breakdances while he fights you, and can I say that's not aikido, but if anything, you could call it hip hop karate or hip hop taekwondo or something like that. But whatever.
Aikido sounds cooler.
It does. It's a very cool sounding martial art. Kimberly Ann Hart, I believe, is a gymnast doing flips on the balance beam. It's very impressive.
Looking all hot and stuff.
Trini is just kind of there. She's like, "Good job, Kimberly." And they didn't really bother to show what she does. What's always funny to me is that Trini seems like just the nicest, sweetest. She's the heart of the team. She's the one that like translates all of Billy's because he no talk like normal human. He's got to be like affirmative. The of the wing today truly makes a more phenomenal. And they're like, what? And she's like, he's saying it's cold. Um, and so you're like, oh yeah, so she's just a sweet little Asian girl. And then as soon as she morphs, she's just like, I'm gonna fucking get you. She's like super aggressive combat style, like incredibly fast and ferocious. Her weapon are literally just two daggers, so she can just go like Drax on you. So I always love that.
I gotta say the juice bar or whatever you call the place.
Green juice bar.
I wish there were more of those around in the modern day. That seems like a cool place to be.
Yeah, I think the full name is Ernie's Gym Bar.
That was it. That place is cool.
Speaking of Trini, a couple things. So one, even if you already have a familiarity with Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, I urge anyone listening to this, both of you, to read the Boom Studios. A few years ago, Boom Studios made Mighty Morphin Power Rangers comics, and they are the best thing to come from the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers franchise. I'm dead serious. And there was an issue, like a side issue, where Trini had to leave Angel Grove to go on like a family vacation with her family. They went to like a vacation home out in the middle of nowhere, basically, where they live. And she referenced that like the biggest attraction was that on a tall hill overlooking the valley where the town is, there's like a boulder on top of that hill. And it's like, that's how boring it is out here, that's enough for people to go, wow. But like a monster wound up attacking in the general area. And so she was alone. So she morphed and like summoned her saber-tooth tiger Zord, but it wasn't looking like she could win. So what she did was she actually boulder off the hill to crush the monster. And I think afterwards it was like the new attraction became the crater that the boulder made. But it was basically one of those things where it was like, yeah, we often think of Power Rangers as, you know, being a team and all each other, but she proved that she could still handle business on her own. I always thought that was cool. And it was of course dedicated to Toy Trang, who is the actress who played Trini, who died in a car accident in I want to say 2000.
Damn.
Yeah. She was great. There's been more info coming out about her in recent years. Recently, Austin St. John, who played Jason, actually described what it was like working with Toy. It got a little raunchy, like because she just loved cracking jokes no matter what. She loved like teasing people, and he remembers when they were shooting the beginning of season 2, because in season 1 they never really had to wear the outfits. But in season 2 they started showing them with their helmets off, so they had to wear these skin tight outfits. So she came out in her skin tight Yellow Ranger outfit, and he's already wearing his skin tight outfit, and he had a certain reaction, and she just kind of laughed at him.
That's hilarious.
But he recounted, he was like, yeah, she was super fun loving, and you know, she was like a sister, and like she always cared about every one of us, and even the people behind the camera she was always like super kind to. And you know, I felt like I learned a lot from her, and I'm sad that she's not here anymore, but you know, I know she lived her life, you know, in a way that we would all aspire to. So I thought that was great, and I wanted to take a moment to just, you know, give my own little shout out to the Void. You know, Toy Trang, you were great. Thank you so much for being such a formative part of my childhood. So the 5 of them wind up getting teleported which I believe is an underutilized ability in that series. Mind you,
Yes.
they can teleport wherever they want.
If you can do that, you should use that.
Yeah, like, do you know that in the comics they actually use that teleportation in battle? And I'm like, yeah,
Yeah, fucking brilliant.
they should have been doing that. There's a lot of stuff in those comics that is like, it feels like it was made by fans who were growing up. They were like, but why don't they just do this? but why do they never try this? There's literally like an issue, or there's a few issues actually, where the Rangers don't have their powers. Like the signal from their power coins is blocked,
Mm-hmm.
and they're like, none of us can morph. And Tommy is like, well, my coin actually accesses the morphing grid differently than yours does, so I can still morph. So for a little while, he as the Green Ranger was the only one that was protecting everybody, but it was clearly like wearing on him. He was like, I can't do this alone. So they were like, wait, so we still have our morphers. Our morphers work fine. It's our coins that are blocked. What if we use your coin on our morphers? And so they like split the energy from the green power coin into their 4 morphers because Belly wasn't around. And they all turned, like, their suit shapes were the same. Like their mask, like Zach had the Mastodon helmet and Jason had the Tyrannosaurus Rex helmet, but they were all green.
Ooh, cool.
So it was just a team of 4 Green Rangers for a while.
I like that.
It was pretty cool. But yeah, okay, so Zordon recruits them all. They're like, and he's like, here, take these morphers. I'll imbue you with the power of the dinosaurs and also a mastodon and also a saber-toothed tiger. Don't worry about it. What do you mean, Cretaceous era? Shut up, nerd. The point is, you'll be fighting this evil space witch. It'll be cool. And they're like, yeah, thanks, but no thanks. And they walk out. And Jason is the only one that's like, maybe we should have listened to what he had to say. And Zach gives the only rational response. Dude, we were talking to a giant head. But they get attacked by putties, and so they wind up morphing anyway. And apparently when you morph for the first time, it grants you an innate knowledge of your abilities. It grants you a mind link where you immediately know choreography to do poses with your friends. And the moment that you step into your Zord, you just know how to pilot it. Very convenient.
Very cool.
Yeah. What's very funny is that in later seasons, they make their own Zord. And because there's not this mystical machine anymore, I remember one time in Power Rangers Turbo, we see Tommy is driving Red Lightning, his race car Zord, and he pulls out an instruction booklet mid-drive. It's like, how do I work this thing?
That's cool.
I thought that was funny.
Yeah.
But yeah, okay. So basically, the skinny about the Power Rangers is that when you morph, you get enhanced speed, strength, agility, toughness. You actually have an invisible energy barrier around you that protects you from hits, which is canonically why whenever you get hit, sparks fly off of you.
Yeah.
They become strong enough that they can jump. Like, how tall would you say one of those Zords are? Like 50 stories in the air?
Yeah, probably.
Because like the Megazord has got to be like 200 stories. It's as tall as any skyscraper. But yeah, they can jump like hundreds of feet in the air. They're able to lift cars and they're definitely superheroes. Anyone who's like, but you're not superheroes, yes, they are. Shut up. They can summon weapons at will. Um, as I previously mentioned, they can teleport. Um, their suits allow them to breathe in space. And they have the ability to, whenever they need, they just raise their hand to the sky and say, "We need Dinozord power now," and they summon Zords, which are giant robots. And like any good giant robot, these giant robots combine to form an even more giant robot called the Megazord. And the original Megazord is the only one that ever talks. Oh, are you still here?
Yeah. The Megazord talks?
Yeah, when they go, "We need Megazord power now," and they start to form and they make their little tank mode first, say, "Megazord sequence has been initiated."
Oh God, you're right.
It
I
stands
completely
up and
forgot that.
activated.
I was like dumbfounded. I was like, wait, no, it doesn't. I was like, when did it have a fucking conversation with one of the monsters?
It
I was
doesn't
like, okay, yeah.
it doesn't talk like that, but it does have two voice lines.
Okay.
But yeah, sorry, I guess I could have been more specific with that, but yeah, I still think it counts. I mean, it's voiced, and
It counts. I just completely forgot about it, and so I was picturing it talking like mid battle.
Yeah, no.
Like, hey, fuck you, Goldar.
Eat this sword, bitch. That power sword is really cool. I don't know if this is considered a hot take or whatever, but first of all, they summon the power sword. It literally drops out of the sky, like the clouds part, and that's rad. But a lot of times it drops out of the sky and they just catch it and immediately start going. That is never, ever nearly as cool as when they let it hit the ground and it stabs into the ground and the Megazord puts its hand on the hilt and lightning arcs off of the hilt. And then they draw it out of the ground.
Yeah, that's pretty badass.
Yeah. It's like some Excalibur shit. I love that. It's
yes.
literally painted by the heavens that they have to pull out of the earth. Which, is funny because looking back at the original Megazord, he looks kind of like a knight.
Yeah, that's true.
Like he has a horned helmet. The Mastodon's head literally becomes a shield for him. His weapon is a sword. So I think it's very neat that they actually did dinosaurs plus knights, basically, long before Dino Fury.
I like that, I think for most things, if you were to say that almost every episode follows the exact same roadmap
Yes.
of an oddly specific course of 3 events we fight some putties without the suit, then we put on the suits and fight the monster, kill the monster gets big, get the robots, kill the monster. And I think for most things, if you said there was that specific a roadmap for almost every episode of the series, you'd say it's poorly written. But for this, it's just like reliable and fun. And I'm like, yeah, that's what Power Rangers is. I can't wait to see it die and get big and go get the robots.
I would go as far as to say the real roadmap for every episode, just about every episode, is we see a problem of the day in their civilian garb. Rita decides to be petty and exploit that problem by making a specific monster. Then they fight putties outside of their suits. Then they fight a monster in their suits. And then they fight a giant monster in their robots. And then they solve the problem of the day.
Yeah, there's just something. I guess it's the same way that, like in WandaVision, where Wanda's dad is explaining why sitcoms are so comforting, and that it's like something bad happens, and then in 20 minutes everything's fine, and I'm like, that's how Power Rangers is. That's how it feels most of the time. There are exceptions, but I like that formulaic wrap up in 20 minutes.
It was good. It was never compelling storytelling, but it was always good to be like, I just want to see something that makes me feel excited, feel good to see these characters I love, overcome today's challenge, and they take it on a day by day basis, and that's great. But the episode where everything changed, at least for 5 episodes, and then it went right back to it, was I believe episode 17 of season 1, which is called Green with Evil, part 1.
Oh boy.
Now, I would like to remind people that in 1993, children's shows did not have week-long events. That didn't happen. Power Rangers was pretty much the first one that was like, you need to come back every day this week, because the other episodes this week won't be reruns. It will be a new episode every day, and it will all be part of a single story arc. And long story short, Rita went, I'm so sick of losing to these multicolored spandex kids, so I'm going to make one of my own. We would find out later that a long time ago, the power coins that they used were actually made by a guy named Ninjor.
Right.
And somewhere along the way, she got Ninjor's 6th coin that he made, which the other coins, are like, oh, this one's got the power of the Mastodon. This one's got the power of the Pterodactyl, the Triceratops, the Saber-toothed Tiger. It's got the power of the T-Rex. It's like, that's all well and good. But this one's got the power of a dragon. And they say dragon. They definitely mean Godzilla, though.
Yeah, that thing is not a dragon.
I mean, it literally rises from the ocean. It is straight up Godzilla. But she sees Jason attends the martial arts tournament, fights against a guy named Tommy Oliver, which it took me far too long to realize that his name is Oliver, because it's olive, like, green.
What the fuck?
So I'm guessing you just learned that today.
Damn it.
Because Oliver's like an actual name, so you don't think about it.
Yeah. Alright, that's cool.
But, so she sees Tommy actually fights Jason almost perfectly even. I think Jason barely pulls out a win with a single point at the end. Or
yeah, I think so.
Or, no, I think that's right. Either way, they're like neck and neck throughout the entire competition. So she's like, oh, so if I turn that guy into a Power Ranger, he'll be able to fight the best of them. And she just, I think she sends putties at him and they kidnap him, but not before he fights a bunch of them off. Unmorphed, no experience fighting them. Once again, proving he's good.
Yeah.
I think is it actually Goldar that winds up grabbing him?
I think she teleports him. Like, Rita shows up herself.
You're right. She appears like on top of the building. He's standing in the alley.
Yeah, and she's like, yeah, because I think he kicks all the putty's asses.
Yeah.
And then she's like, no, I gotta go get him.
Yeah. So she just casts a spell and brainwashes him, teleports him back to the moon, and infuses him with the power of the green power coin. And he becomes the evil Green Ranger. And he proceeds to beat the dog shit out of all 5 of the other Power Rangers.
This is some Darth Vader level shit. Where it's like, this dude shows up and you immediately get the sense we're all fucked.
Yeah. Because he fights them. He's doing effectively. Zordon gave them 3 rules. Only use your powers in self-defense, never escalate a conflict, and never reveal your identity. And it gets to the point where they're like, we're struggling so hard that we've got to escalate. And they summon their Megazord. I'm like, they're really like, okay, screw this. We're going to step on this guy. And he just jumps up, climbs into the beats them all up in his sword, throws them out, leaps back down to the ground, and proceeds to fight all of them 5-on-1 and beat them all up. And it's just, God, how could they possibly
The dude
fight
is
that?
fucking terrifying.
He really is. So ultimately, what winds up happening is Rita could have just left it like that, and she would have won. But she needs to ruin her own plans with her hubris. She granted him a weapon called the Sword of Darkness, and she's like, "This will make you even stronger." I may possibly also need to actually tie the brainwashing spell to this sword, but that's fine. Don't think about it too hard. And so Jason just throws his own power sword hard enough that it turns into a beam of light. And it shatters the Sword of Darkness, and so now Tommy's just good.
Does he use the dragon sword before they free him? I think he does something.
The dragon dagger.
Yeah.
Yes, he does. So the dragon dagger is one of the coolest weapons ever because it's a little dagger, and you're like, oh well, that's not going to be as effective. I mean, Trini has 2 of those, and then you go, wait, but it's also a flute,
trumpet synth thing.
Yeah, and
that so he can blow into through his helmet.
Yeah, and so then you go, okay, but even with that additional piece of knowledge, I don't see how it. Oh, and when he blows musical notes into it, it shoots lightning bolts.
And then it summons a fucking Godzilla robot.
Yeah, and then you go, oh, that.
Oh, okay, now we're fucked.
And yeah, he comes for dragon. I think I had that tune as my ringtone for a while. But yeah, I was going to say something, I forgot. But his design is also cool because unlike all the others who have their suit is mostly their color and they've got like white diamonds across their chest.
Yeah.
He does have those white diamonds, but you never see them because he wears like a gold like torso shield. So he's like green and gold. And it's super rad looking.
This is such a fucking cool design.
Yeah. I never liked it when like later on he's losing his Green Ranger powers. He gives the gold shield to Jason. And like when it's red and gold, that's just ostentatious.
Yeah. But also the green suit looks really weird when it doesn't have the gold plate and it's just got the white diamonds.
It's so unnerving.
It looks naked.
It really does.
Like you look so weak and scrawny now with that green thing without the badass shoulder pad.
Yeah, you need to have the Dorito body type of Chris Evans. Instead, you look like. But yeah,
it's hella basic for Tommy Oliver to be your favorite Power Ranger, but Tommy Oliver's my favorite Power Ranger.
Look, sometimes it's basic because it's popular, and sometimes it's popular because it's correct. So
that's true.
Yeah, Tommy is one of the coolest Rangers ever. Like, I found a few here and there that I'm like, well, for the amount of time they spent on screen, I like them more. But still, if I'm just like, but I still have a stronger connection to Tommy because he's been around since episode 17, and he's had so much screen time. So it's like, you can call it unfair or whatever.
Who would you say your top 3 are that aren't Tommy?
Yeah, I wasn't ready for that question.
We can ask it in a later episode.
Well, Billy has always been great, and he's. Hang on. Good. All right. Billy has always been great. I struggle to say that he would be in there. See, this is the problem. There's like over 100, and I'm trying to quickly.
Yeah, there's just so many of them.
Kira, I love her. I want to have her babies.
Okay. Yeah, fair enough.
Um, Ethan is also really
I was
good.
gonna say the same thing about Tori.
I'm not connected enough with her to feel that, but she's cute. Sky is fantastic. I love
Okay.
how he transforms from this overly uptight, overly egotistical, kind of sexist dude.
So my three were gonna easily be Cam. I love Sixth Rangers, so it was gonna be Cam, Trent, and even though he's not the sixth, and RJ.
Okay.
Fucking love RJ.
Because again, I was just naming characters I like to try and whittle myself down towards a top three. I will tell you, Wes is definitely in the top three.
Okay.
Wes is such a fantastic. He's maybe my favorite Red Ranger.
Okay. That's probably. I don't know who my favorite Red Ranger is, but that's not a bad option.
Wes is great. He's got a fantastic, like, being a rich guy who hates all the pomp and circumstances. Like, man, I just want to get out there and have fun. And I'm not trying to like be above it all and everything. And he winds up discovering, like, getting blasted into this situation he absolutely was not ready for, but he takes it in stride, and he winds up learning that his future can be whatever he makes it. It's his choices that matter more than what other people tell he is meant to do.
Yeah.
I love that. But yeah, so once Tommy is added to the team, they have some new options. They can now combine the Mastodon, Triceratops, and Saber-Tooth Tiger Zords with Dragon Zord to make the... Okay, here's the problem with early Power Rangers, is that they give names to things, but then they also give that same name to other things. And they change names. Officially, it is called Dragon Zord in fighting mode.
Okay.
It is when the Dragon Zord has a face and it has like a big spear weapon. And the reason I brought up the names thing is because they originally called it the Mega. But the Mega Dragon Zord is actually kind of lame. It is just the Megazord, and then the Dragon Zord like lifts up and it like splits open like down the middle, and becomes like head armor and arm armor on top of the Megazord, and it looks very janky. But then later on they also get access to Titanus, the Carrier Zord, which is a big old white Brachiosaurus. And its neck lowers down and its back opens up, and the Mega Dragon Zord just steps in, or actually it really lifts into the air and then slowly lowers down into it. And that they form the Ultra Zord. And the Ultra Zord is apparently so strong that simply forming it causes a nuclear explosion to happen in the background. You ever notice that? Every time they form the Ultra Zord, it makes a mushroom cloud?
I did not think of that, but sounds about right.
So I would assume the reason they make it so infrequently is because they're not trying to create a nuclear wasteland. And you might go blue into it. It's just a special effect for the transformation. Well, no, because Power Rangers RPM specifically says no, those explosions are happening behind them.
Oh yeah. I completely forgot. I completely forgot that they explicitly mention it.
Yeah, Ziggy's like, I can't help but notice that sometimes when I morph, there's a big explosion behind me. And she's like, are you referring to the energy runoff that is sometimes needed to clear the energy cells of the. And he's like, I'm talking about the 10 ball that got one right there.
I completely forgot that they had Ziggy straight up talk about it.
And then in that same episode, Flynn is about to morph, and he's got a wave of enemies right in front of him, and so he just turns around and morphs and takes a bunch of them out.
That's amazing.
Love that. And that's what I talk about when I'm like the comics address things, where it's like you could easily like hack it. Like you could life hack things as a Power Ranger, and they just never do. Like, if it were me, I would never look at my morphing. I would always turn away. Get some extra damage in. Game the system.
For real.
But anyway, so they continue doing their Monster of the Week kind of adventures, but Rita is still salty that so she creates a green candle out of wax that Tommy touched when he was under her spell. And when the candle burns down, he will lose his powers. And it works. And which did go, why didn't she do that with the other Rangers if the only requisite is get them to touch this wax?
Yeah, for real.
She does, but she only does it with the others except for Jason. And so Jason like storms the Moon Palace and goes in there, and he destroys the 4 candles so that the others can keep their power. And then she's like, okay, that didn't work, I'll never try it again. I'm like, no, that's obviously like, just do it again, just keep doing it until it works. But you know, it's whatever. Make them afraid of wax. Make them, anytime they see anything that could potentially be wax in their environment, make them like have a panic attack.
Yeah, that'd be great. That'd work.
Like, oh no, what if she makes another candle out of this? This looks like an orange, but what if it's wax fruit? They just become paranoid and start slowly starving themselves. See, this is why I would be a much more effective supervillain. But eventually, season 1 ends and season 2 starts, and turns out Rita has a boss named Lord Zed. And he comes in and he's like, oh my god, it's taken you like 60 episodes. Why have you not conquered this world yet? And so he just shrinks her, traps her in a mini version of the dumpster, and chucks her out into space. And I was like, all right, I'm taking over this operation. He's got new super putties, which are actually worse. Because before, you could be like, oh, but they were weaker. It's like, yeah, well, you also couldn't one-shot them. These new putties are glass cannons. They're apparently stronger and faster and everything, but they've got a big old Z emblazoned on their chest, and if you just punch the Z, they explode.
Yep.
Regardless, he manages to do critical amounts of damage to the Dinozords. And so Zordon goes, okay, they're not destroyed. You can't use them like this anymore. So here's what you do. I will imbue you guys with the power of thunder. So whenever you summon your Dinozords, lightning will strike them and transform them into different Zords. And so now, like, Billy's Triceratops becomes a Griffin, I think. Or no, it becomes like a Pegasus.
Right? I can't remember.
It's got like a horse face. I remember that. Anyway, they all become different mythical beasts. The coolest one is obviously the Red Ranger's T-Rex becomes a dragon.
Yes.
Like a serpentine dragon flying through the air, not like a Godzilla. And now they all form the Thunder Megazord, which is basically a samurai. it's very cool. And like I think before their cockpit was in the Megazord's head, now they're in like this green jewel in the chest. And they're operating like that for a while, but then they're like, Billy is for some reason crawling around the ventilation system in the command center, and he sees Zordon and Alpha are working on what appear to be a new Ranger.
I was shook.
Yeah. And so they were speculating, who is this new Ranger that they're making? And eventually Zordon's like, all right, Rangers, I want you to meet the White Ranger. And he descends in a pillar of light from on high like an angel. And slowly takes the helmet off. Kimberly actually passes out. And we see Tommy's there, and he's smiling, and he's like, guess who's back? I should note that Kimberly and Tommy had a thing.
Yeah, that was the whole thing.
They are the only couple that were ever allowed to actually kiss on screen in Power Rangers.
I did not realize that. That's interesting.
Yeah, in season 1, when he was still the Green Ranger, there's a shot where they're at like a dock in front of like a lake, and they actually.
I remember the kiss. It just didn't occur to me that they're the only ones.
Yep. No one else was ever allowed to. Can't allow sinful lip contact on this Christian children's show.
Wild.
And I want you all to know that Christian show is as facetious as I can possibly be, given that Lightspeed Rescue literally has them fighting the equivalent of Satan. So, you know, that there's a literal Antichrist in that season. Like, come on.
Yeah.
But anyway, so what's very funny is then named the new leader. So Jason was just like, oh, come on.
Fuck off.
And it doesn't last too long because apparently, like in story, you can be like, well, Jason had other things he wanted to pursue. He wasn't the leader anymore. The burden was taken off of him. But in real life, Toy Trang, Austin St. John, and Walter Jones were trying to negotiate for more money. And it worked out in their favor, and so they got mad and just left the show.
I remember this.
They weren't actually given like a send-off. Anytime their character was on screen, it was just in the suit with other people dubbing over the lines to pretend that the actors were still there.
Mm-hmm.
But they had to quickly cobble together an episode where those three were being sent to some kind of peace conference.
Yeah, I remember that. That was weird.
Yeah, so I guess we're sending teenagers to negotiate with other countries for us. Okay.
We've got no better ideas.
And I watched this guy, Linkara, has a series called History of Power Rangers. He brings up a good point. He's like, yeah, why not? Teenagers do everything else in this city. The adults can't do anything for themselves.
No.
So from the neighboring city of Stone Canyon, 3 teenagers came over. Aisha Campbell and Adam. Why? Adam is the one that I know the best.
I love Rocky.
Said Adam Driver. You love Rocky. Hey everyone, sorry about that. If things sound a little bit different, that's because we're recording on a different day now. My earth-shattering revelation about Jordan liking Rocky broke the episode. So I guess I'll ask you now what I was attempting to ask you yesterday. Why?
I can't remember. I just remember that I liked Rocky. Hang on. Let me try to figure out why I like Rocky. What it was? It was Aisha. It was Adam. And it was Rocky. Yeah. Oh, I don't remember. I just think he's fun.
Okay.
I was like, he's doing a good job.
You're doing great, sweetie.
Yeah.
Energy. All right. Uh, I really like Adam. I think he's cool.
Adam's cooler than Rocky.
Definitely. I like how he came back first for mentoring Carlos in Power Rangers in Space.
Oh, yeah. Adam winds up being one of my favorites because he comes back there, and then he also comes back for Once a Ranger, and he's still a badass.
Yeah.
And that made me real happy.
Because like all Power Rangers had like extra superpowers and stuff.
Yeah.
And so like you see like Xander like makes a vine spell to grab someone, and Tori's moving with like super speed, and Kira basically flies in, and I mean, I guess Bridge just sort of came out shooting guns, but it was still cool. And so you're like, okay, but what would a Mighty Morphin Power Ranger do that to like set him apart? Well, he splits the earth and makes a
Yeah,
fucking
fucking slams down with that axe, and
so
damn.
cool.
And they gave him like the coolest intro music ever.
Yeah, it was a remix of the Go Go Power Rangers theme.
Yeah.
Wait.
What?
Was I feel like I was just doing a different theme song.
What did they it's like this I'm picturing the scene. It's like this kind of, I don't think it was a remix of the Power Rangers theme, but it definitely harkened back to that style with the heavy guitar and everything.
I definitely just recited the theme song of something else, and I don't know what it is.
What did you just sing? I'm gonna try to figure it out.
For some reason, that music,
I don't recognize it.
It's something.
Maybe it's
something
an anime.
to watch. That was like the end credit, like the end of the episode happened, but credits are rolling version of whatever.
I remember the little melody that happens when Adam shows up, and then it's this bum 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 ba da 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 bum, and it's really cool.
Yeah. It's also funny because like it's sort of introducing Earth to him, but you know, technically, you want super technical. The Black Ranger kind of was attributed to ice in Mighty Morphin Power Rangers.
Yeah.
Because the Mastodon had the special ability that its trunk would blow out icy wind.
That's true.
Yeah. But they weren't really fast with like giving everyone an element in that, so yeah, I guess it's fine. But and then he became a Soul Reaper. Do you get that joke?
No.
Johnny Young Bosch voices Ichigo Curse.
Funny.
He voices a lot of people. He became a legit anime voice actor.
Oh, that's cool.
I just watched something with him in it yesterday.
Oh.
I cannot remember what it was, but
yeah, I got seeing Adam
it was
interact
Persona.
with. Oh, okay. Seeing Adam interact with Ann Alpha in the Once a Ranger, I was like, oh man, I'm gonna cry.
Yeah, even if it was the newer Alpha voice, it was still fine. I'm just enjoying talking.
You should say that again.
Remember that?
It got scrambled.
Alpha was.
It scrambled it again. What the hell is Anchor doing? Okay, cool. Anchor is being very rude today.
Jive talking.
What?
jive talking. Christ, I've been trying to say it like 5 times. I'm glad Alpha wasn't talking like he grew up in the Bronx or some shit.
Oh, okay. That's funny.
Jesus.
Fucking Anchor. All right. I mean,
Okay.
thank you, Anchor, for this wonderful opportunity.
Yeah, I'm sure I'll you know what? I'll probably put the Anchor ad in right there.
Right here.
Like just for the joke. So anyway, let's name Morphin Power Rangers before we die again.
Yeah.
Rocky, Aisha, and Adam became the new red, yellow, and black Rangers, respectively. There's something about they had to go to an alien planet and get a sword. I don't know why they had to get a sword, because later it was literally just as easy as hand the coin to someone else.
Yeah, hand someone the coin and they become the Power Ranger.
Yeah.
And then even later, it gets even easier than that, depending on the Power Ranger series.
Yeah, it could literally just be pick up someone else's morpher that's laying on the ground and just use it.
Yep.
But yeah, so season 2 pretty much had this new status quo that Tommy was the leader, and there was no more real argument about whether or not it should actually be Jason, because Jason wasn't there anymore, and Rocky, as neat as he may be, is definitely not a leader.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he literally becomes a Blue Ranger later, because that's how interchangeable he is with that kind of role. Let's see. Zed proves to be much more menacing in general than Rita. And that's why he's like one of the most fondly remembered villains of the entire franchise. Even people who struggle to remember that there was more than one season of Power Rangers still know Lord Zed.
Yeah. He's pretty good. He's a pretty good villain.
Yeah, definitely. And then eventually Rita managed to escape from her second space dumpster, came back. Okay, so what's very funny is they had been using footage of the original Japanese actress from
Oh yeah, I
Super
remember
Sentai.
this.
And she decided that in order to try and seduce Zed, which was her big plan, she would get a makeover. And it was literally just their excuse to start using an actual American actress. And she uses a love potion, forces Zed to fall in love with her, and they get married. It was very strange, but then they actually became kind of more threatening because now they were able to combine their magical abilities together, which led to season 3 basically opening with, hey, you know how they damaged the Dinozords, but it's okay because they got upgraded to the Thunderzords? Well, now the Thunderzords got completely destroyed. And not only did the Thunderzords get completely destroyed, but their power coins got ruined as well. So they couldn't be Power Rangers anymore. So Zoran sent them to find Ninjor, who, as I said before, made them in the first place.
Ninjor! I love him.
Does he say that?
No, I just really like him.
Oh, okay. I remember he has a weird voice. He's like,
your journey is about to begin.
I don't know, I think he tests them or some shit. So okay, this is actually where the actual canon of Power Rangers differentiates from the movie timeline.
Yeah, I remember that threw me off as a kid. I was like, wait, but that's not how the show goes.
In the movie, they don't go to Ninjor. They lose their powers because of Ivan Ooze, who's a great villain, by the way. I actually really like him.
Great. I like that movie.
What? Oh, what? Him being upset that he missed some of the greatest disasters in history. He's like, I missed the Spanish Inquisition, the Brady Bunch reunion.
My favorite is like, do you want us to take another crack at it? He goes, how about you take another quack at it? And then he vaporizes the guy. That's good. That's top notch.
We stand Ivan in this house. Also one of the few Power Rangers villains to get kneed in the balls.
Yeah. Also that he fucking storms into the command center and breaks the tube.
Yeah.
Like that's some legend shit.
Yeah, it is. Oh yeah, and Zordon turned out to be just like a guy surrounded by his like spiritual crystal collection. Like,
yeah, he's just a little Voldemort thing sitting in there.
Yeah, it was weird. I was like, I thought the entire point was that he's not supposed to have an actual body. Whatever. Anyway,
that movie's wacky.
Yeah, but yeah, they, instead of going to Ninjor, who looks like just a weird Chinese bootleg Power Ranger, they, what was her name? She was like alien Amazon princess lady with like green strips as an outfit, very skimpy. Not that I'm complaining.
Very hot.
Yes, she was. Honestly, yes.
Might have been my sexual awakening, in fact.
You know what? No one would fault you for that.
It was either that or Kimberly. I can't remember, but one of those was the first where I was like, "What's this sensation?"
Yeah. Like, ooh, do I like girls?
That's interesting to me.
Her weapons were like, they were like Robin's Eskrima sticks, but they also function as. You ever have one of those tubes with like the air thing in it, and if you turn it upside down, it goes. Woo.
Yeah,
it's like that. They were both that. She's just spinning them, and it's going. And it was driving the Tengu.
Loved it.
Oh yeah, the henchmen for season 3 were now Tengu, the big old crow boys. Because, okay, so
they got a fatty face. They got the funny feet.
Oh yeah, that's right. They had a theme song.
Yeah, they give them their own theme song. That's great.
Man, I kind of miss those days, honestly.
But, this is the ultimate nostalgia trip, talking about the OG Power Rangers, man.
It really is. So every season of Power Rangers, while keeping the Kyryuger outfits, still were incorporating more and more things from whatever the newest Super Sentai season was at the time. So the Thunder Zords were from Die Ranger, as was the White Ranger, actually. They just got really lucky with the design of the White Ranger, that he had like a gold and black shield that looked similar enough to the Green Ranger's shield.
Mm-hmm.
Like it was pure luck. Like, oh,
that's pretty cool.
We can use that. So because of that, it still looked similar enough to the Mighty Morphin outfits that they could use it. So season 3 is based on a ninja series of Super Sentai, which is why it had a lot more of like classical Japanese theming in it. Like,
are these the suits that wind up becoming the Alien Rangers?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. I believe it's called Kaku Ranger.
Okay. I know nothing about the Japanese side of these things. I'm just a Power Ranger-y boy.
Yeah, it's the Alien Rangers. That's why the Alien Rangers are ninjas.
Cool.
And why their Zords are now the Ninja Zords and the Shogun Zords. Which, can I say, why are they called Shogun Zords? Because Shoguns do not fight.
Yeah.
I guess if you want to be like, well, but in the hierarchy, they're greater than the ninjas, so this means that they're greater. Okay, sure, whatever. They still
No,
don't
that's like an entirely different thing. The samurai and the ninjas
it's
are
like-
like not even the same
It's like if I was
side usually.
It's like if I was piloting a soldier Zord, and then I was like, now I'm gonna upgrade it. This is the president Zord.
I feel like it would be more like I guess that's close enough. But it's like not even the same team.
Yeah.
It'd be like I'm driving an Iron Man Zord, and now I'm driving a U.S. Army General Zord. And it's like, wait, this is not the same thing.
Or
It's not
you
the
know
same
what?
level. It's not the same hierarchy.
You know, enemies. It would actually be more like uh, I'm driving the William Wallace sword, and now I'm upgrading to the British Queen Zord.
Fucking Queen Elizabeth Zord would be so funny.
Yeah. Oh my god! It just reminds me of. Have you ever seen Spaceballs?
Yeah.
The giant robot that's just like a maid with a vacuum
Yes.
cleaner.
Good God, that movie's insane.
Okay, so regardless of whether they get it from a hot Xena warrior princess style warrior lady, or whether they get it from Dudley Do Right, they get new ninja powers and they get new ninja zords, and for everyone who, because okay, they make a joke in the movie, right? They're like, Billy, you have the cunning and the patience of a wolf, and Rocky, you have the, was it strength of a gorilla, and
something like that.
and Aisha, you have the ferocity of a bear. Kimberly, you have the grace of a crane. Tommy, you have the keen eyes and the leadership ability of the hawk. And they go to Adam, and he's like, "I'm a frog," and she's like, "Yes, like the one that you kiss to make a handsome prince." And she gives him a kiss on the forehead, and it's like, "Thank you, ma'am," but also you could be like, "Oh, incredible leaping ability, and the ability to camouflage, and you poison. Like frogs can do a lot of great stuff, and you really just undersold me."
Yeah, and also, please kiss me again.
Yeah, but you know what? Maybe if I get a kiss on the lips, I'll forget about this injustice.
It's like, I don't think that turned me into a frog. I need the...
But man, welcome, Jordan. Welcome to the section of Cape Corner where we're horny on Maine. I'm glad to not be alone here now.
You've been doing it for so long.
So the entire like season 3, it was mostly more or less just more Monster of the Week. They tried to do a backdoor pilot for the Saban's attempt to make Kamen Rider Americanized, because I should say at this point Saban went, wow, my business model with Power Rangers was a massive success. Let's do it 27 more times. Okay.
Also, they put out like what, 50 episodes per year?
Yeah.
This was insane. They never stopped.
Jordan, let's play a game. I'm going to start naming shows, and I want you to tell me if you've heard of it.
Okay.
Okay. Big Bad Beetleborgs.
No.
Really? That was like the easiest one, I thought.
Oh yeah, no. I'm not well educated on these.
Okay. Superhuman Samurai Cyber Squad.
No.
Did you hear about an anime a few years ago called SSSS Gridman?
I think I've seen that title somewhere.
Yeah, it's based on the original Sentai series that Superhuman Samurai Cyber Squad was Americanized into. That's why it has 4 S's.
Okay.
VR Troopers.
Oh, I've seen that poster and that title. I've never watched it, but I've seen it. I've seen that it exists.
Mystic Knights of Tir na Nog.
No.
Tattooed Teenage Fighters from Beverly Hills.
What the fuck? That's not a real show.
Yes, it is. Look it up. Go ahead.
Okay. What? Hang on. No, I do need to do this. I need to. Let's. Hang on. I'm trying not to like bump my microphone too badly. Oh god, I'm bumping it anyway. Shit. Okay, here we go. All right, it is tattooed
Teenage
fighters from Beverly Hills.
Mm-hmm.
From Beverly Hills. And why is this real?
They got magic tattoos that give them superpowers, you see.
I'm not gonna lie, those are pretty good tattoos, and these are all very fit, attractive people.
Yep. Oh man. So this was the model. Like first, they were just taking a bunch of Japanese properties. It's Big Bad Beetleborgs, VR Troopers, Superhuman Samurai Cyber Squad were all Japanese properties. But then for a couple of them, they were just like, we can just do this with anything. They made Tattooed Teenage Fighters from Beverly Hills, and they made Mystic Knights of Tir na Nog, which I want to go on record saying Mystic Knights of Tir na Nog deserves more recognition, because how often do you actually see an American production use Irish Gaelic mythology? It's a trick question. The answer is never.
Yep.
You don't. So I think it's very cool that they use Irish mythology.
That is cool.
But yeah, I a few episodes ago, I remember I mentioned Mystic Knights of Tir na Nog, and I was like, no one knows what that is, but I'll be mentioned in our Power Rangers episode. But here we are. It was 4 knights. Each one was bestowed the power of one of the classical elements: water, fire, air, earth, and they fought monsters in Ireland, and it was dope. I want to say that like famous Irish figures like is it Cuchulainn or is he Scottish? I know there's an Irish analog.
I don't know.
Scathach. Pretty sure she appears at some point. And if you go, that name sounds familiar, and you watch Fate, like the Fate series, or you play Fate Grand Order or whatever, that's because that's Scathach. She is a hot Irish queen warrior lady.
Okay, I can roll with
that. She also has a shadow in the Persona series, where she is this cool, levitating goth lady. Very all right, so basically the biggest thing from season 3 of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers was that Rita was like, hey, remember that one time I enchanted a human to do my bidding and it was incredibly effective? Why did I never try that again? So she brainwashes a girl named Kat, and then I guess for style points, turns her into a cat. And
yeah, I forgot about that.
Just
10 out of 10 for wordplay, Rita.
Just has them spy on the Rangers, and they're like, oh, look at this cat, it's so cute. And they just bring this cat around everywhere, and she's reporting back to them about what they're doing. But my question is, why would you need to do that? Haven't you always been seeing what they're doing in their day-to-day lives? Like, whatever. So, ultimately, Kat winds up being freed of brainwashing. Kimberly has a chance to go to like nationals or Olympics or something, but constantly training for her gymnastics and also constantly fighting as a Power Ranger is like slowly killing her. So she needs to make a choice. When Kat winds up, befriending the Rangers and being their confidant, she decides to pass the coin on to Kat, and it's very sweet. And Kat is around for all of like 5 to 10 episodes, maybe, before not only are the Zords destroyed, the command center blows up, and we are left with a strange like end credits message at the end of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Season 3. It says something along the lines of the story will continue in Power Rangers Zeo. Which
fucking cool.
Yeah, it was very, because like
I guess we should probably mention, because wasn't this also part of Season 3 where they get turned into kids?
Oh yeah, okay.
And the Alien Rangers have to help them.
Yeah, just a second, because they had spent series collecting sections of something called the Zeo Crystal, and should I point out that while the Zeo Crystal itself just kind of looks like a hunk of rock of like various jagged angles, each section is a different shape. Like the section that Tommy finds is star shaped.
Oh, I completely forgot about that. That's cool.
Yeah, so they're each of the shapes that would eventually be on their masks. So it's just literally just if you mash like all of those shape rods together, that's what the Zeo Crystal is.
That's pretty cool.
But yes, there is a plot where Rita and Zed they pull some Superman logic where the rotation of the Earth has literally anything to do with time and not just whether or not we're staying in orbit. So they reverse the rotation of the Earth like twice.
At least they magically reverse the direction of the Earth.
Yeah, but also it spins the Earth backwards like twice, and then they instantly go back like 10 years, and it's like, well, yeah. I'm pretty sure that would be 2 days, bud, but okay.
Yep.
But yeah, so they become kids. It was before they got their powers, so I guess they don't have their powers yet. Which also we can go, but wait, they have their memories. If this is before they have their powers, then wouldn't power coins still be there?
Yeah, it's really weird.
But for whatever reason, and I think they have to remind Zordon who they are and everything, because like he doesn't know them yet. But ultimately, what the solution is we have allies on another planet called Akatar, and we'll call them into Earth. And I'm like, any of those other solutions might have been better, because even if you're like, but they're like 6 and 7-year-old kids and we don't want to have them fighting, that's valid. But it's also not good to have your fish people fighting on dry land, because they regularly are in danger of suffocating.
Yep. I always thought that was weird.
Either way, they came in. They had their ninja powers. They fought for a mini series of like how long was Alien Rangers? It was like 10 episodes. And they actually did have their own little logo. They changed the logo of the show. It had a little Mighty Morphin Alien Rangers logo. It was neat. They also changed the song. Go, go, Alien Rangers.
Yeah, that was cool.
Some people consider it a different series, but it's technically not. But yeah, literally, like in the course of the last episode, it was like the Alien Rangers do what they need to do. They reverse the spell. The Alien Rangers go, okay, bye, and then leave, and then immediately the command center blows up. Oh, I should say one other thing is that while they were all still kids, so the normal actress wasn't even there for this. Aisha, because they were having to like regather the Zeo crystals that got like scattered throughout time or something. Aisha to Africa which is apparently this country in Africa is where her family's ancestry is from.
Hmm.
Found this girl Tanya, got the Zeo crystal segment from her, and then decided that she wanted to live here in Africa. And Tanya was like, I want to be a Power Ranger. So she just sends Tanya back with the crystal. And
I forgot about that, and that's real weird.
yeah, so the actress who had been playing Aisha didn't actually get a send off, just like the ones who played Jason, Trini, and Zach. But in fact, of all of the original Mighty Morphin cast, I think Kimberly, Amy Jo Johnson, is the only one that actually got an on-screen send-off.
Yeah, I think that's true.
But yeah, so Tanya comes back. They all turn into adults again, or older teenagers, whatever you want to call them, and things immediately start exploding. And the Zeo crystal gets lost in the explosion. Oh yeah, because Rita Revolto, who is apparently Rita Repulsa's brother, snuck in under the command center with Goldar, and they put a big fat bomb in there and just blew it up. And apparently in that explosion lost their memory, so at the beginning of Power Rangers Zeo, we haven't talked about Bulk and Skull. Bulk and Skull started off as bullies in season 1. Very ineffective bullies, but bullies nonetheless. Season 2, I think their main thing is they're trying to figure out who the Power Rangers are. And then season 3, they're like, ladies love a man uniform, so they and there's a great song.
Did they become cops in season 3? I thought that wasn't until later.
They started training
in
season 3, and then they were cops in the beginning of Power Rangers Zeo.
Okay.
Rito and Goldar wound up losing their memory in that explosion, so in the beginning they would just be like maids.
Yeah, I remember that. That was so fun.
Ridiculous.
Now,
I love it.
From a wacky kids TV show point of view, those two being bumbling incompetent cops is hilarious, but dear God, those guys should not be cops.
You know what? I doubt they would be any less effective than the normal police of Angel Grove, who have never once.
That's also true.
Against a monster. I never saw nary a shot fired. I never saw a cop go, everyone inside. Nope. Sit back, eat a donut.
Power Rangers hit that all cops are bad phase before it was cool.
It sure did. Legitimately, Lieutenant Stone seems like he might be the only effectual cop in all of Angel Grove. So, that's the TV series of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. Now, I would like to take a moment to talk about the movie, and not the '95 one, which we've already touched on.
What?
So again, it does have a Megazord kneeing giant monster Ivan in the balls, and that's funny. I want to talk about the 2017 movie.
Oh wow! I figured that would get its own episode. Okay, let's go.
It's technically Mighty Morphin Power Rangers.
That is a fair assessment. Cool. All right, 2017.
You know what? Actually, maybe the next episode we should be on that movie, because you have a point. I feel like I can talk enough about that movie to fill an episode, and I don't want to undercut it because I feel it deserves.
Yeah, that's true. So we make the next one of these the movie, then we do Zeo and go on from there.
Yeah, that sounds good. All right.
All right. we just blue balled the audience.
Sorry. And sometimes edging, goes a long way.
Oh my God. Fair enough, man. Fair enough.
So, there are 10 people who were Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. How would you rank them?
Um, just with the original cast. And the replacements throughout the 3 seasons.
Yes, so the
Okay.
10, just so we're listing them out for posterity: Jason, Billy, Zach, Trini, Kimberly, Tommy, Rocky, Aisha, Adam, and Kat.
Oh God. Okay, this is hard. So Tommy's at the top. This is easy.
Yes.
Jason is second to me.
Personally, I would put Billy as second.
Damn it! Now I'm tempted to put Billy as second. That's a good point.
Here's the thing. Not only is he the longest running member of the original 5 to stay on the team, but also
I forgot about that.
But also, how many episodes were they all going to die if Billy didn't make some crazy invention?
That's true. Okay, Billy's
let
second.
Let us all go on record and say, years old, Billy Cranston took an old car, like an old buggy from a junkyard, and made a flying car.
Yep. Billy is fucking awesome.
He sure is.
And he's very relatable in being a bizarre nerd that a lot of people don't like, and people struggle to relate to him. So,
yeah. And
the other Rangers, yeah, and the actor is gay. Is the character? The character is not coded as gay. The character wants
the character pulled more ladies than anybody else.
I've heard that like the cast and crew, not the cast necessarily, but definitely the crew was like abusive to him for being gay.
Yeah, which is why he left. He took it for a long time until he was kind of like, look, the working here has now finally outweighed my love for this series, so I can't say.
Man, it's fucking upsetting.
It is. I'm glad that he's getting the positive treatment he deserves these days.
Yeah, and I'm hoping it wasn't the cast at all, but I don't actually know.
Yeah. They're kind of hush-hush about it, so it's difficult to tell.
Yeah. Well, so yeah, I'll do Tommy and then Billy.
Okay.
And then, oh man, see, I was thinking maybe Adam, but Jason's the original Red Ranger, and that's just an important title.
Yeah. I tend to not worry about him too much because his personality is not even heroic. It's just stoic.
That's true. Okay, I'll do. You know what? No, I'm putting Kimberly third, just because she's hot. I'm kidding.
But
she was also a very cool character.
Yeah, she has a very where she's incredibly vain and whiny in the beginning, but she gradually learns, responsibility and how to genuinely care for others. She becomes one of the most empathetic characters in the series as it goes on.
Yeah, she is really cool. I'm putting her third. Oh gosh. Okay. It's. Oh man. Okay, who should be next? I'm gonna put Adam fourth.
All right.
I think he's cool, and he comes back some, and his appearances later are even cooler.
Valid.
And that retroactively makes him cooler here. All right. Okay. Shit.
So you still got Jason, Trini, Zach, Rocky, Aisha, and Kat.
Yeah. So I'm gonna put Zach next. I just think he's cool. I like him. I like the dance moves. I like his attitude.
Fun fact: Zach is missing a finger.
Wait, what?
Yeah, kidding. Walter Jones doesn't have one of his ring fingers, and it's just one of those things that you never notice.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
How did I miss that?
If you look at footage of like Zach in the TV show, like whenever you see his hands, one of his hands is missing.
I gotta go back. Gotta go watch it again.
Like down to the middle knuckle, where it's not missing the entire finger, or maybe it is. I can't remember.
Okay, so So then I'm putting Zach there. Then I'm gonna go with. You've like turned me around on Jason that he's mostly just kind of there.
I'm sorry. I hope I didn't ruin that for you.
No, I'm still, uh, yeah. No, I still like that he's the original Red Ranger, but that's like the only thing he had going for him. Now that I'm thinking
Yeah,
about it.
it just he wasn't a whole lot of a character. He was incredibly static.
So I'll put Trini next.
Okay.
Then we'll go Jason.
Okay.
Because I rank all of the OGs except for Adam above all of the not OGs.
Fair.
Partly because I just don't really remember them very well.
So your last ones are Rocky, Aisha, and Kat.
Okay, so I will put. I feel like Aisha was cool, but I can't really. But she wasn't in it very long.
If it helps, Rocky and Aisha were in the movie.
That's why. Okay. Yeah, so I guess we'll go with Aisha, and then I'll put Rocky, and then I'll put Kat.
Okay. I think that's fair because Kat also had the least time to do anything.
Yeah.
Oh, I should say that season 3 of Mighty Morphin was also the first one of the Power Rangers series that gave them like an alternate mode. Because
like where they have ninja mode and then they have ranger mode.
Yeah, sometimes they would like do an intermediary morph where they would just become ninjas.
That was cool. Then, I always thought that was awesome.
Yeah, it was neat. I like the abilities that it gave them. They would do like a substitution jutsu and shit. Yeah, I just remembered it because I was remembering like a scene where Kat morphed for the first time and she was trying to get a hang of the powers and she was in her little pink ninja outfit. All right. Well,
I think by recording this on 2 separate days, we've like accidentally created the longest Cape Corner episode.
Probably. That's fine.
Because we have no gauge for how long to keep talking.
We here on Cape Corner, we talk until we're done.
That's true.
If we have more to say, then we'll say it. And if you guys think, this is a long episode. Well, first of all, I know that you are mostly a void and you're not really a lot of people listening. But even if someday this becomes like famous in the internet archives or whatever, take a break. Split up listening to this episode over days if need be. That's what we did recording it.
Yeah, and that's what I do with a lot of my podcasts. I basically have a running list of podcasts that I just add weekly episodes that come out, and I just listen to them on my drive to work, which is an odd number of like it's like 42 minutes, and so that gets split up. Days could pass, and I will slowly absorb a podcast.
Yeah. So that's it for Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. Like we said, next time we'll do the movie from 2017. Spoiler alert, we like it, and you should too, and we're going to make you. All right. You can join the Cape Corner Discord. I put up polls there. There is discussion among the community. It's a grand old time. And you can talk to us, and you can tell us what you think about our performance.
We'll talk back. We promise.
Yeah. It's dead over there, so it's not like we won't see your message. You can follow me at Cape Corner on Twitter. You can follow Jordan at Fandom Optimus on Twitter. Go give them a listen. They are like officially our sister site or brother site, depends on how you want to. I don't know how secure you are in your masculinity.
Very.
Cool. So that was obviously a joke. I know you're good with it. You don't care. Feel free to support the series. I have a Patreon style support button over on Anchor. Feel free to check it out. Um, let's see. I think that is just about everything, right?
Do you have any idea what next week's episode is going to be?
I'm going to see if Jay is feeling better. In case anyone is curious, Jay has been, I'll just say under the weather. He's been in the hospital, and I'm just wanting to make sure that he is recovered and ready to go before we do another episode. So if he's feeling better, I'm thinking it's time we did another anime character, to be honest.
Cool.
Might finally talk about Naruto. We've talked about 2 Naruto characters, but not the main character.
Oh, nice.
Yep. All right. Other than that, I believe that what's the moral takeaway from Mighty Morphin Power Rangers? Diversity
Something
is
about
good.
Yeah, diversity, community, and kindness.
Yeah. No matter, you can be a superhero all on your own, and you can always value whatever strength and abilities you bring to the table. But at the end of the day, working with others will always take you much farther than you can on your own. So be sure to nurture those relationships, be sure to care about others, and keep an open mind for people who are different than yourself. I know we don't like arguing and we don't like disagreeing, but finding common ground between people with different viewpoints is invaluable. All right, everybody. Stay strong, stay true to yourselves, and remember, we can all be heroes.